Have you ever seen a photo so bold that it shocked everyone, even adults? Well, that is exactly what happened when Elke Sommer, one of the most famous actresses of the 1960s, posed in a bikini. Some people called it daring, others said it went too far. We are going to explore the story behind these photos, why they caused such a big reaction, and what made people talk about them for years. Elke Sommer was not just any actress. She was young, beautiful, and had a charm that caught the attention of Hollywood. But in 1965, she appeared in a set of photos wearing a bikini that made headlines everywhere. These pictures were bold, and some people said they were too much for public viewing. At that time, bikinis were still considered very new and shocking in public. Imagine a world where wearing a bikini could start debates on television and in newspapers. That is exactly what happened with Elke. People were divided. Some praised her confidence and beauty, while others criticized her, saying it went beyond what was proper for adults to see. So, why did these photos cause such outrage? To understand that, we need to go back to the 1960s. This was a time when fashion, movies, and social rules were changing. The bikini itself was still a relatively new piece of clothing. Most people were used to swimsuits that covered much more of the body. When Elke wore hers in these photos, it shocked the conservative audiences who thought it was too revealing. But there was more than just the outfit. Elke's pose, her smile, and the way she carried herself added to the effect. She looked confident, carefree, and unbothered by what others might think. That confidence made her even more famous, but it also made the critics louder. Some adults felt uncomfortable because the photos were shared widely in magazines and newspapers. They argued that the images were not suitable for young audiences, even though she was simply expressing herself. Others defended her, saying that she was just being herself and that it was unfair to judge her for wearing a bikini. This debate went on for weeks. People wrote letters to newspapers, discussed it on television, and even talked about it in schools. Yes, it reached that level of attention. The photos became part of pop culture history, a moment when society was deciding how much freedom women could have in showing their own style and beauty. Today, we look back at these photos differently. Bikinis are normal, and most people do not think twice about them. But back then, Elke Sommer's photos were almost like breaking a rule. They challenged the limits of what society thought was acceptable. And that is why they are still remembered today. Why do these photos still matter? First, they remind us how society's rules and ideas about clothing and beauty have changed. Second, they show how one person's confidence can spark huge conversations. Elke Sommer's bold choice made people question their own beliefs about what was appropriate. And that is not something that happens every day. Even celebrities now face criticism for what they wear. Social media and the internet make it easier for people to comment, sometimes harshly. But looking back at Elke Sommer, we can see that she faced something similar, even without social media. She showed courage just by being herself in front of the camera. Some might say that the outrage was too much. After all, it was just a bikini. But others argue that the photos were important because they pushed society forward, opening the door for more freedom in fashion. Whether you agree or not, there is no denying that Elke Sommer made a mark on history with those images. Her photos remind us that fashion is not just about clothes, it is about expression. It is about confidence, and sometimes, it is about challenging rules that may not make sense anymore. Every time we see bold fashion choices today, we can trace a part of that story back to moments like Elke Sommer's photoshoot. So, the next time you scroll past a swimsuit photo online and think it is too bold, remember that society has always had these debates. Elke Sommer's bikini photos were not just about style, they were about changing what people thought was normal. In the end, the outrage over her photos might seem strange now, but it is a perfect example of how one image can start a conversation that lasts decades. And Elke Sommer? She handled it all with confidence and grace, leaving a legacy that people still talk about today. Bold, confident, and unforgettable, Elke Sommer showed the world that sometimes, being yourself is the most daring thing of all. What do you think about Elke Sommer's photos? Share your thoughts in the comments.